Welcome to GrandDad and Me. You know, in the last days, God said, I will pour out my spirit on every kind of people. Your sons will prophesy, also your daughters, and probably granddaughters. Young men will see visions, and your old men will dream dreams. Our friend Johnny Nash said it this way.
Well, now I'm sick and tired of wondering what's wrong. So I guess I'll just write myself a song and think of all the good things that I've seen. I'm gonna dream myself a brand new dream.
All right, well, Granddad, I have some questions for you today. Are you ready to answer some of them?
I'm ready to listen to the questions.
Okay, we'll see where we get.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to talk about dating, and, dating today is, there's many different ways of meeting somebody, right? So some of the examples I have
All
are
online, though, aren't they?
yeah.
There's
Or
like-
you swipe up on somebody's story on social media, or you'll swipe right on a dating profile, or, you just try and spark up a conversation with somebody at a restaurant or a bar or wherever. So what did that look like for you?
Well, swiping in my day meant you were stealing things. And unless it was stealing somebody's heart, it didn't have a lot to do with dating. It was different. Of course, every person's dating life is different. I was, obviously very popular, so no, I can't. It was very isolated, but you went to school, and I went to a public school, and so and I went to church. So
Mhm.
going to school and church, there was a lot of people, and I'm a baby boomer, and we were at a time when we were just coming along. I'm almost the oldest. There's a year ahead of me for the baby boomers, so I'm like right behind that. But once
Okay.
we hit schools, we just kind of filled them up because there were so many of us, and classrooms went. The class size went up. Just everything went up because
Mhm.
the baby boomers hitting the schools, and then church became, in the 50s, when I was growing up, church was very, very popular. In fact, on a Sunday morning, if you drove down the street and you saw somebody in their yard, especially if they were cutting their grass, you thought badly of them. Not being judgmental, of course, but
Mhm.
it's like, my goodness, they're not going to church. It just seemed odd. It wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, and so with that, with going to, with having youth groups at church, and then all the kids you went to school with, there was things that happened.
Mhm.
I didn't. Oh my gosh, my mother tried to fix me up when I was in
no.
the fifth grade with this nice person. She was a nice person, but in the fifth grade, I just wasn't quite ready for the ladies yet, and they certainly
How'd
weren't.
she try and set you up with somebody?
They certainly weren't ready for me. Well, she and her mom and Margaret, who's the girl, Margaret's mom and my mother got together and thought we should go square dancing every week. There was a square dancing thing at the park,
Okay.
and oh my gosh. I reveled in being a Southern Baptist because we didn't dance. And that was what I loved that about, it didn't have a lot to do with my holy conviction. It was just like, thank goodness I don't have to try to dance. But my mother went around that by this square dancing thing. And I had to you had to hold hands when you Allemande left and all those kind of crazy things. And, oh, it was just torture. And I think she was probably taller than me. At least that's kind of my memory of her.
I feel like that age, though, girls get taller
Yeah,
faster,
yeah.
so that is a rough time.
Yeah, I kind of shot up. In fact, the weird thing is I I shouldn't say shot up, but it was a more calm time. But I had a growth spurt.
Okay.
In
I
the
didn't have one of those, so I never got to that point. So
in the 7th grade, I was the tallest kid on the football team, and by
Wow.
the 8th grade, I was the shortest. My growth spurt happened early, and it didn't go very far.
It stopped.
Yeah, and I was when I was playing football, I was just really having a good time playing football until I got to high school, and I was so small that I just got beat up like a rag doll. So that's when I learned to play golf. I switched over to golf. Nobody, unless somebody hit me with a golf ball from 200 yards away, I was pretty safe. It was a whole lot better than being beat up in football every day.
My goodness. So did anything go anywhere with the girl you went square dancing with, or?
Yeah, we got married and had 5 kids. No, no, my gosh. She did have a swimming pool, and in our neighborhood, that was a really big deal. But she never invited me to go swimming. So, and I think, yeah, she wasn't any more into me, or she wasn't any more into square dancing than I was. We were pretty much prisoners on the floor, on the hardwood out there. Oh gosh, it's just bad. But
wow.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of age were you when you started pursuing people or attempting to go on dates?
Well,
I don't know if there was a success story yet.
No, there was no, absolutely not. Because there was, from 12 and 13, I had a great best friend named Tommy, and Tommy and I, we fantasized about dating a lot of people, and we were very shy, and we would kind of wait in the corner and leer at girls as they would go by. And why that didn't work. And then a couple of times we went to the movies and we sat behind some girls. So how these techniques didn't work on the ladies.
I'm shocked, actually, because anyone I ever said yes to, that's exact. They just stared at me in a corner or sat behind me at the theater.
Yeah, well,
that's just tough luck.
That's how your mom would meet kids when she was little. She would be at a swimming pool or something, and she would just stare at this kid until next thing I knew, they were like best friends. And it was just a weird technique that she had, but yeah, I guess
worked.
I guess it was her. It did for her. It didn't work for me. In fact, I just barely stayed out of being in trouble for some of our stuff. But finally, we started dating, both Tommy and I, and our parents drove us, which is
wow.
Talk about a buzzkill when you.
That's rough.
When you're in the back seat and your parents are in the front seat, and both my parents would take us on things.
Wow.
So yeah, and there was a lot of parent involved. Her parents, my parents, everybody knew each other, and yeah, you weren't getting away with a lot of stuff, and yeah, and we always double dated. Because Tommy got a car before I did, and before I could, he got his license before I did. In fact, he got his license at 14.
Wow.
And so, yeah, so he got the family car fairly early, and so we just ran amok after that. And so he would drive, and I would help procure dates for him.
You're like, I'll bring the girls if you have the car.
Yeah, that he won't see this, so but that was kind of the way it was. I would get 2 girls and share one with him, and he would drive the car.
That is awesome. Now, do you remember your first date?
The first real date I had, was to a 9th grade dance, kind of a 9th grade prom. And it was junior high then, not middle school. And at that time, you went through the 9th grade, and then you went into high school after that. So, I asked Joan, I won't say her whole name, but anyway, I asked a lovely girl, and she said yes, and we had a great time.
How fun.
And then we started going to movies and things, and so I would say she was my first date.
Popularity. What is it made of? How does a person get to be popular with lots of people and have a few close friends, too? Let's watch and see what makes people like one person and not another.
Hey, Jerry, there's that new girl in our math class.
Oh, yes. Her name's Carolyn Ames. She's a swell kid.
Why? You know her?
Not very well. I wish I did. I don't know what it is, but there's something about her you like.
Well, she always looks nice to start with.
Yeah, especially when you compare her with some of the weird characters in this place.
Yoo-hoo!
Ginny thinks that she has the key to popularity, parking in cars with the boys at night. When Jerry brags about taking Ginny out, he learns that she dates all the boys, and he feels less important. What about Ginny? Does that make her really popular? Do the boys and girls like her? Is she welcome to join this group?
Hi, Betty, Ellie. You can rest your tray here, Ginny, for a minute. Thanks. Say, Wally, how's the play coming along?
Oh, okay, Jenny.
Here, Jenny.
No,
Thanks,
girls
Jerry.
who park in cars are not really popular. Not even with the boys they park with. Not when they meet at school or elsewhere.
Nothing like being Miss Popularity.
Yeah.
It wasn't a whole lot unlike Happy Days. I mean, that was kind of my
Okay.
time. And we did all the things. We went to the drive-in. Our school went to a drive-in with car hops and all that stuff on one side of the street. The other high school that was close to us, they went on the drive-in on the other side of the street. I mean, we didn't rumble or anything or
Right.
have throwdowns or anything, but we did have our own. This was more our place and that was their place, and
Oh, cool.
yeah, but it was very Happy Days. Like it's kind of almost embarrassing, although it was wonderful. I just I wish I wish you could have those kind of could have had. You had a wonderful time, and but yeah, it was very neat to be in that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any strict rules from your parents about dating, or was it kind of laid back?
My, I was always, my mother, they both had rules, and we were, but I mean, I grew up, I couldn't say the word ain't.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mother wouldn't let me, she was very strict about even my language. And,
Well, my mom's like that too. The F word was fart forever. I thought the F word was fart.
Right.
So I get it.
right. Well, the song "Ain't That a Shame" came out, and I was I would turn it on the radio, and it was a big breakout deal for me because I actually got to say "ain't." That's how on the edge I was in my whole breakout life. What a wild person I was! I got to say "ain't" one time with a song. But yeah, there was definitely she was, and both of them were always very concerned that I was a little gentleman to the ladies, and I would do all the things that I stopped doing pretty early. But just being respectful, and because like I said earlier, the parents were all so close, they didn't want to get a call from somebody's mom or dad saying, "How come your son did this?" And
Right.
yeah,
I feel like it's a beautiful thing to have like family, friends, and y'all are going out, and because everyone knows each other, and I trust y'all being at their house because we know them.
Hmm.
But then it can also, there's that downside of like, if this ends, can we all still be friends? Like,
Oh yeah.
did that, or especially the girl that you went square dancing with, whenever y'all were like, we don't really want to date each other, guys, did that
No.
affect the family relationship at all?
That one didn't. But there were some, especially if I dated girls from church. And there was a long time when I didn't date people very long. I would date it was too confusing. it was too confusing for me to date multiple people at one time.
Okay.
So I would date them one at a time. I was like a serial dater. I would date like for 3 weeks and then I would move along. And I
feel
had
like
an
that's
option.
better than juggling 4 at one time.
Well,
I mean,
it was all my brain could handle. And fortunately there was, anyway, there were several girls with the same name, so that helped sometimes. But,
that's awesome.
but, a lot of this is, a little bit uncomfortable to think about everything. 'Cause I wasn't always, the kind of person you'd like to think you were, when you think back about, I was kind of rude to people sometimes. And, yeah.
I look back too and I'm like, gosh, Allie-Grace, you were kind of rude to some. I agree. I was like that too. I think we all go through our phases. We have our awkward phases and we're like, gosh, I can't believe I wore that or said that or did that. And then you have, that growing phase where you can be a little bratty, kind of rude sometimes to people. And it's just life lessons and learning.
The good thing about getting old is you can play did I say that? I don't remember saying that.
I actually already try to pull that and be like, I don't remember saying that. That's one thing that gets easier and easier because everybody buys into it. It's like, of course he doesn't remember what he said. I have a hard time pulling it off right now, so I'm glad I have something to look forward to.
Yeah, I can see where you would. But
Well, I loved hearing those answers.
Well, it's always fun hearing yours too, Allie-Grace. I just, you energize me and so does this show. And it's fun. I hope folks out there, not just listening to us, which we're saying, and I hope they are listening to what we're saying, but it also causes them to go tell stories. And we have folks on our shows that talk about, they're sharing stories with us, and I hope it encourages them to maybe go tell a family story or some photograph that we see just fires off a memory in those than theirs, and they send a photograph to somebody or go look in that drawer or that chest and find those old pictures and maybe just spread them out for a family gathering or maybe just by themselves after it gets late and they just look at some old pictures and it just takes them back to those places and it becomes their own story, and their story becomes something that encourages themselves and makes the rest of life just as exciting, knowing that there are more stories to come,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I find that, turning that page in that storybook of life is just something that we all want to kind of hang on to and see because it's just such an adventure to see what kind of stories coming next, what's around the corner, what God has for us next. So it's a great thing to look forward to. And I look forward to being with you again, kiddo.
Yeah, I look forward to being with you too.
Hey guys, come back and see us on GrandDad and Me. And, maybe, I'm not dating anymore. So don't try to call me.
Nobody get any funny ideas.
Don't swipe right or anything.
I got a brand new dream.